Let's have a look at acid-forming foods now. These acid-forming foods are high in the acid-forming minerals, which is phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine. So knowing those things, it makes a lot of sense to alkalize the tissues. Let's have a look at acid-forming foods now. These acid-forming foods are high in the acid-forming minerals, which is phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine.
Cancer, one of the most dreaded diseases of our time, affects millions worldwide, leaving many searching for ways to protect themselves and their loved ones. While genetics and environmental factors play a role, could the foods you eat every day be feeding cancer cells without you even knowing? Renowned health educator and naturopath Barbara O'Neill believes that your diet can either fuel or starve cancer, making your food choices more critical than ever. What if the foods you trust the most are silently contributing to cancer's growth? In this video, we'll reveal the 7 worst foods that Barbara O'Neill warns against, common items that could be feeding cancer cells. But don't worry, we'll also give you healthier alternatives that can help starve cancer, nourish your body, and empower you to take control of your health. Are you ready to make life-changing choices and discover how what you eat can impact your fight against cancer? Let's dive in. 7. Meats.
So what foods are high in phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine? Meat.
O'Neill warns that some meats can increase cancer risk. She points out that processed meats like bacon, sausages, and deli meats are especially harmful. These foods contain nitrates and nitrites, which can turn into cancer-causing substances in your body. Eating processed meats regularly raises the risk of colorectal cancer, so O'Neill suggests cutting them out completely to help keep your body healthy. Red meats such as beef, lamb, and pork can also be risky, especially when cooked at high temperatures by grilling or frying. These cooking methods create harmful compounds that are linked to cancer. O'Neill advises eating less red meat and choosing leaner organic options when you do. Scientific studies support O'Neill's concerns. Organizations like the World Health Organization classify processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen, which means there's strong evidence they cause cancer. Eating just 50 grams of processed meat daily can increase the risk of colorectal cancer by 18%. Research also shows that high consumption of red meat, especially when cooked at high temperatures, can raise the risk of various cancers. To lower your cancer risk, experts recommend eating less processed and red meat. Instead, focus on plant-based proteins like beans, nuts, and whole grains, which can help protect against cancer due to their high fiber and anti-inflammatory properties. Fish and lean poultry are healthier alternatives, but should still be eaten in moderation and prepared in healthier ways, like steaming or baking. Before we dive deeper into the next food, if you're finding this information valuable, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's dive back in. 6. Vegetables.
Why have I got a question mark? If someone has a yeast presence in their body and they're eating a lot of fruit, the sugar in the fruit will feed the yeast.
O'Neill shares interesting views about nightshade vegetables, which include tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplant, and potatoes. She believes that while most vegetables are healthy, some people may have issues with nightshades that could lead to inflammation. This inflammation might create a more favorable environment for cancer cells. Nightshade vegetables have been part of our diets for a long time and are packed with vitamins and antioxidants. For example, tomatoes contain lycopene, which may help lower prostate cancer risk. However, some individuals, especially those with autoimmune conditions, may experience inflammation from eating nightshades. O'Neill points out that these vegetables can also create an alkaline effect in the body, which is thought to be good for health. If you enjoy nightshade vegetables and feel fine after eating them, it's okay to include them in your diet. But if you notice any discomfort, it may be wise to cut back. Focusing on non-starchy vegetables like leafy greens can help you stay healthy. Overall, by paying attention to how your body reacts and eating a variety of vegetables, you can support your health and reduce cancer risk. 5. Wheat.
Also vegetables. Vegetables have an alkaline effect. But there is a question mark with vegetables. I'm putting a question mark here because for some people these have an alkaline effect and sometimes an acid effect.
Wheat has been a staple food for centuries, but in recent times, highly processed and refined wheat products have become more common in our diets. O'Neill points out that refined wheat, such as white bread, pasta, and other processed wheat products, may play a role in cancer development due to how they are processed and their impact on the body. Refined wheat is stripped of its natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind simple carbohydrates that are quickly broken down into sugar in the body. This leads to rapid spikes in blood glucose levels, similar to sugar, and can feed cancer cells. Moreover, refined wheat products often contain harmful additives and preservatives. In addition, wheat products are typically high in gluten, which can cause inflammation for individuals who are sensitive to it. Chronic inflammation is a known contributor to cancer as it can damage cells and weaken the immune system, making it harder for the body to fight off diseases like cancer. Instead of refined wheat, choose whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, buckwheat, or spelt, which provide essential nutrients and fiber that help regulate blood sugar levels. Whole grains are digested more slowly, preventing the rapid rise in glucose that feeds cancer cells. If you're sensitive to gluten, look for gluten-free grains like amaranth or millet. These options are packed with fiber, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory properties that support overall health. 4. Sugar and refined carbohydrates. It's no secret that sugar is unhealthy, but did you know that it could also be feeding cancer cells? O'Neill points out that sugar is like a feast for cancer. Cancer cells have an insatiable appetite for glucose, and when we consume sugary foods or refined carbohydrates like white bread, pastries, and sodas, we're giving cancer exactly what it craves. Sugar spikes your blood glucose levels, triggering a rush of insulin in the body. Cancer cells are known to have more insulin receptors than normal cells, which allows them to take in more glucose, grow faster, and spread. This means that your daily sugar habit might be feeding cancer's hunger. To cut off cancer's fuel, switch to whole foods that are low in sugar. Opt for complex carbohydrates such as whole grains, oats, quinoa, and sweet potatoes, which are broken down more slowly and keep your blood sugar stable. Additionally, incorporate natural sweeteners like stevia or monk fruit to satisfy your sweet tooth without the negative effects of sugar. 3. Caffeine. O'Neill has concerns about caffeine and its possible effects on cancer. She explains that caffeine is a strong stimulant that can cause blood sugar levels to rise and increase cortisol, a stress hormone. High cortisol levels can lead to inflammation, which might create a suitable environment for cancer cells to grow. O'Neill also notes that caffeine can make the body more acidic, and an acidic environment could favor cancer growth. She suggests reducing or eliminating caffeine to help keep the body more alkaline, which may help prevent cancer. O'Neill points out that some studies have linked caffeine to an increased risk of breast cancer, especially in women who metabolize caffeine slowly. Therefore, she advises people, particularly women, to be careful with their caffeine intake. Research on caffeine and cancer has produced mixed results. Some studies suggest that women who consume higher amounts of caffeine may have a slightly higher risk of breast cancer, particularly if they process caffeine slowly. However, other research indicates that moderate coffee consumption might not increase breast cancer risk and could even have protective effects because of the antioxidants found in coffee. A larger review of studies found that caffeine consumption does not seem to be strongly linked to overall cancer risk. In fact, some studies suggest that drinking moderate amounts of coffee might lower the risk of certain cancers, like liver and colorectal cancers, due to its antioxidants. However, high caffeine intake may lead to increased inflammation, which could contribute to cancer risk. To stay healthy, it's best to enjoy caffeine in moderation. If you like caffeinated drinks, try to limit how much you consume. Focus instead on eating whole foods, like fruits, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains, which provide important nutrients and can help protect your health. If you want to cut back on caffeine, consider switching to herbal teas or decaffeinated drinks, which offer tasty alternatives without the stimulant effects. 2. Legumes. Legumes such as beans, lentils, chickpeas, and peas are often considered nutritional powerhouses. They are rich in fiber, protein, and antioxidants, and have been shown to help reduce the risk of chronic diseases, including cancer. However, O'Neill warns that the way legumes are prepared can influence their health benefits, and improper preparation could potentially introduce risks. Legumes naturally contain anti-nutrients like phytic acid and lectins, which can interfere with the body's absorption of essential minerals like iron, calcium, and zinc. When consumed in large amounts without proper preparation, these anti-nutrients could potentially lead to nutrient deficiencies, which weaken the body's immune system and increase susceptibility to diseases, including cancer. In addition, canned legumes often contain high amounts of sodium and sometimes even preservatives, both of which can contribute to inflammation, a known factor in cancer development. Excessive sodium intake is also linked to higher risks of stomach cancer. To enjoy the health benefits of legumes without the risks, it's essential to prepare them properly. Soaking legumes before cooking can reduce anti-nutrients and improve their digestibility. Using fresh dried legumes instead of canned versions allows you to avoid excess sodium and preservatives. Pressure cooking is another excellent method that can neutralize anti-nutrients like lectins. Legumes are excellent sources of plant-based protein and fiber, making them a great alternative to processed meats or refined carbohydrates. Include a variety of legumes, such as black beans, lentils, and chickpeas, in your diet to support healthy digestion, reduce inflammation, and promote cancer prevention. 1. Grains, refined and processed. Grains form a significant part of many diets worldwide, but not all grains are created equal. While whole grains provide essential nutrients and fiber, O'Neill highlights that refined and processed grains can negatively impact health, potentially contributing to cancer risk. Refined grains such as white bread, white rice, and other highly processed grain products are stripped of their fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. This leaves behind simple carbohydrates, which, like sugar, quickly raise blood sugar levels and trigger an insulin response. Elevated blood sugar levels can feed cancer cells and promote their growth. Moreover, the lack of fiber in refined grains can contribute to digestive issues. Fiber is crucial for maintaining healthy digestion and regularly eliminating waste from the body, including potential toxins. Without sufficient fiber, these toxins can accumulate in the gut, increasing the risk of colon cancer. Another concern is the use of pesticides in non-organic grains. Pesticides and chemicals used during grain cultivation may have carcinogenic properties and could remain in processed grains, further increasing cancer risk when consumed in large amounts. To protect your health and reduce cancer risk, choose whole grains like quinoa, brown rice, barley, buckwheat, and oats. These grains are packed with fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants that help regulate blood sugar levels and support healthy digestion. Whole grains also contain phytochemicals and antioxidants that have cancer-fighting properties. Whenever possible, opt for organic grains, which are free from harmful pesticides and chemicals. If you're sensitive to gluten, which is present in many grains, explore gluten-free options such as amaranth, millet, or wild rice. The foods we choose to eat every day can either nourish our bodies or harm them. Barbara O'Neill's insights provide a powerful reminder that certain foods can feed cancer cells, but by making conscious choices, we can take steps to reduce our risk. Avoiding these 7 cancer-feeding foods and replacing them with healthier alternatives will not only help you starve cancer cells, but also promote overall well-being and vitality. If you learned something valuable about the worst foods that feed cancer cells, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights from Barbara O'Neill to help you eat healthier.